Welcome to ECC Pinball. Today I'm going to do an installation / review of this Pioneer Coin Manager. So what this thing does is it allows you to determine how many coins your game needs to play. And the reason I wanted this, and a lot of other people want it, is a lot of the old games you can't charge more than, say, 25 cents or 50 cents a game, and in today's dollars 50 cents a game may not be enough to make it worth your time. So in fact, I had talked to several people about looking for something like this, and it didn't exist. At least I didn't know about it. And then I saw a post just last week or so on one of the forums, and this guy designed this thing, and it looks like it's exactly what I want. It was like $100 or $99 shipped, and looks pretty good. I saw a little short video somebody installed in one of their games. So I'm gonna put it into my sorcerer. I'm gonna set it for 75 cents. You can't do that with the existing software for that sorcerer. You can do the first game at 75 cents, but then it forces you to the next game is 50 cents. And then if they you have to use basically French settings. And then if they put 3 more in, they get 1 more credit, and then they put 2 more, which is a total of 10 coins, and they're up to 10 credits. So you're back down to 50 cents a piece. They put 10. So, you know, I really don't want to do that. I want to make it 75 cents. So they've got the instructions here online. It's a PDF. And there's 2 different ways to install it. I'm going to do the traditional method where basically when you put your coin in, it credits up, and then you can press the start button. There's a different way to wire it so that when you put the credits in, or you put the coins in, it immediately starts the game. And I could see how that would be better for certain environments, but I'm putting this into a place where there's a lot of pinballs and most of the people know how to play a pinball machine. I also run tournaments in there, and I think it messes up. I've got one game that does start up like that, and it messes up the people in the tournaments. They freak out because they think that they're gonna play out of order or something. So anyway, so I'm gonna go through this and install it. So the first thing to do, comes with these little offsets. I'm gonna install them. So just jam these suckers through the holes if I can. It was nice in the instructions they told you to do it like I'm doing it. I don't know if I would have thought to do that myself, but I did appreciate the advice because this works pretty well. It's nice getting this kind of stuff. Otherwise, you end up with some janky installation. And this is going to make it nice. So it's got the screws. I'm sure they're going to be the right length. So they go through the spacer, and then they don't stick through the side of your cab, because this whole thing gets mounted right inside the coin door. And that is our next step. So I'm going to take all this. I'll maybe just get these started here real quick. Save some time leaning over the game. And grab a Phillips screwdriver, and we're going to go mount this into the game. So I want to mount it right here, but that bracket's in the way, so I'm going to just move that sucker real quick. I may just move that and stick it in and use that hole there, and then I think I'll have enough room for this board. Okay, after moving that little bracket, I got plenty of room right there, so that's where it's going to go. So I should have shown the instructions going through it. So that's just a picture of it. That's where you're going to want to put it. That's it installed. The next one, we're going to install this 3-prong or 3-wired plug in the machine. 1 step forward and 2 steps back. So I put that thing in there upside down. Not that it really matters, but I'm going to fix it real quick. All right, my 3-prong plug is plugged in there. I've already looked ahead. The next thing we're going to do is desolder these 2 wires or these 2 wires also. I'm going to just start with this one right here because it doesn't have the case on there. Maybe I'll probably just do the one side. And this one does have a diode on there, so we're going to have to pay attention to that. But I'm going to desolder that and take off that diode, and the positive side of that diode, just for reference, is on the white and Okay, so here we are. That's what I just did. Locate one of the game cords, keep a note which lugs were where, and if there's a diode. And desolder, remove the wires and the diode. So that's done. And there's FAQ, we'll get to that a little bit later. So the next step is take the orange wire from that 3-pin connector and connect it to either one of the wires we just desoldered, and do the same with the white one. So basically, we got the orange and white wire that get attached to these two wires. The green ones get soldered together because they're daisy chained together. And the purple's not used. It says in there, this is if you've got a normally closed switch. So I may just cut that off right up there next to the terminal, or just ravel it up, because that's almost never going to get used. So that's the next thing. They give you some crimp connectors. I'm probably just going to solder these together with some heat shrink. All right, so the orange and white are connected to those two wires from the switch. That's done, so we're on to our next step. It came with those little crimpers, and like I said, I just soldered it instead. Yeah, the purple is only used for normally closed switches, so I snipped mine off. Next, we're going to install the 6-pin 3-wire inputs to the harness according to the number of coin switches. I'm only using one coin switch, so I'm going to get one of them and plug it right in the top, just like that. There's that connector right there, and I get the black to the left. Well, I guess that connector would only go one way, so. Anyway, that's that. If you're not using a comparative coin selector or some sort of digital coin acceptor, I'm not doing that. You have to cut off the end of the fitting there, because we're going to be soldering these things. You can also cut out the red wire, the 12 volt, as it's not going to be used. So I'm going to do those things. Just cut off that end connector, and that red wire, I just cut it off too. And we're on to our next. It's the next day. I got pulled off on something. So we're at the next step here. It says next strip back and solder the green and black wires to the switch, the normally open and the common. So I'm going to do that. So we got my 2 wires soldered in right there. Kind of got them leading the way I'm going to run them here ultimately. Not going to worry about those for now. Those will get all tamed here in a second. And the next step is basically get this little wall wart, plug it into the service outlet, and plug it into the board. Well, the outlet on this power outlet, the service port, is way in the back on this game, and it doesn't reach. It would reach right here, so I may relocate this board right here. I didn't trim those wires, so they're really long. So I think I'll have enough room if I put this board right here, which means I'll have to move this one like I did that one, just kind of get it out of the way. And then I could put this board right here. I think I'll do that. Either that, or I'm gonna have to get an extension cord or cut and splice wires. I don't think I want to do that. All right, I got this board mounted. You can see I got 2 sets of holes, because I initially had it a little further over, and then this wire here was like right up against that bell. I didn't want it to interfere with the movement, so I moved it over a little further. And I still have plenty of wire on this side, and that's not under tension, so I think that's going to work. So it's all installed. It's just got to program it. There's one more thing. I got to show you that it said to look at the FAQ if you had to remove the diode, and we did. So there's one last thing. I'll go ahead and jump ahead. So basically on here, it says no diode, anode or cathode. So basically what he's done is made it so you don't use the diode down there on the switch, you use it here. So, and instead of trying to figure out which way, telling you which way to do it, you just try it both ways. So that jumper there right now is on no diode, which is the wrong place. So it's either going to go, depending on which way I wired it, it's either going to go the anode or the cathode. So I'm going to move that jumper one or the other, and it should work. So here's where it describes the FAQ number 1. If a diode is required, move the jumper to the anode and test. If that doesn't work, put it on cathode and test. If that still doesn't work, send an email to the dude. So I'm gonna try, I guess I'll try it on anode and give it a test. So I believe it's, I read through there, I think he has it shipped at 75 cents, which is what I'm gonna try it at. So I'm gonna move the jumper to that middle position and see if it works, and if not, then I'll move it to the bottom position. So I just moved that jumper right there to the, what is that? I can't see it. Anode, and we'll see if that works. So I'm gonna boot the game up. It's booted, and it shouldn't make a noise every time we put a coin in. There it did. 1, 2, 3. I didn't see what we started at. It's on 5 now. Actually, I think I've got it on max coins, max credits 5. So let me adjust the maximum credits on this thing real quick. Okay, I got the maximum credits turned up to 10. I also I had it on the French settings for the, anyway. So I got it on quarters now. One quarter is 1 game. That's what I want, because this is gonna take, it's gonna send out 1 pulse for every 3 pulses. So that 1 pulse is gonna start 1 game. So let's see what happens here. Let's see, y'all can see there's a 0, 0, maybe you can't. Well, okay, so it is not, it's going 1, 2, da, da, so it's trying to send it, so I'm gonna move that jumper to the other setting. Okay, so the jumper's on that bottom setting. I hope it works now, because if it doesn't, I'm off to email land. Oh, that did it. It gave me 10 credits, but that's an issue with the settings for the coins on the game, so it gave me 5, so that's a setting with the game coins. So it probably, I don't know. I've got to get these set so both these switches are 1 quarter is 1 play. So the coin multiplier is working. So I'm gonna adjust my settings for the game real quick. All right, got my wires all tidied up, and I got it on the right settings now. So 3 clicks. It gave me a credit. 3 more. Another credit. Another credit, up to 3 credits. So it's working just like it should. So pretty good little device, perfect for exactly what I needed. I'd say it took about maybe 30 minutes to put in there. If I had to do it again, it'd probably take me 15 minutes. I spent as much time moving this thing back around 15 times. Once upside down, and once because the power cord wasn't long enough, so I had to move it again. I spent as much time dicking around with that as anything else. So pretty easy to install, pretty straightforward. For $100 shipped, not too bad a deal.